Ever wondered how cultural differences can shape romantic preferences? Welcome to our exploration into the fascinating intersection of culture, race, and attraction. Today, we're diving into a topic that's rarely discussed, but always intriguing. The romantic preferences of Indian women, specifically their attraction, or lack thereof, towards African boys. In a world as diverse and interconnected as ours, it's natural to wonder how cultural backgrounds influence our romantic interests. We've set out on an exciting journey to explore this question in the context of Indian women and African boys. The aim is not to generalize or stereotype, but to gain an understanding based on individual perspectives and experiences. We've had a series of candid conversations with Indian women, giving them a platform to share their experiences, thoughts, and feelings. So, are Indian women attracted to African boys, or do cultural differences create a divide? Let's dive into the words of Indian women themselves to uncover the truth. Attraction is a complex concept that varies greatly from person to person. When we dive into the minds of Indian women and their views on attraction and race, we discover a mosaic of perspectives, each as unique as the individual who holds it. Some women we interviewed shared that attraction for them transcends physical attributes and race. They spoke of how they value emotional connection, shared interests, and respect above all else when it comes to potential romantic partners. One woman, for instance, shared, "For me, it's about how a person treats me, their character, and our shared interests. Race doesn't factor into it. I've been attracted to people of different races, including African men." At the same time, we heard from women who admitted that race does play a role in their attraction. They shared that they are more inclined towards people who share the same cultural background and experiences, simply because it's easier to relate to them. One woman expressed, "I think there's a certain comfort in being with someone who understands your cultural nuances. It's not about race per se, but more about shared experiences and understanding." It's crucial to note that these views are not set in stone and can evolve over time. Some women disclose that their perspectives have changed as they've been exposed to different cultures and people. One woman reflected, "I used to be more inclined towards my own race, but as I've met and interacted with people from different cultures, I've realized that attraction is so much more than just race." In contrast, some women confess that societal pressures and expectations do influence their views on attraction and race. They spoke of the challenges of navigating societal norms and their personal feelings. In sum, attraction is a deeply personal and multifaceted concept. It's influenced by a multitude of factors, including but not limited to personal values, life experiences, cultural background, and societal expectations. From this exploration, it's clear that there's no one-size-fits-all answer. Every woman has her own interpretation of attraction, and race's role in it is as varied as the women themselves. As you can see, there's a wide range of viewpoints on this topic. Opening, how do personal experiences shape our preferences? Our preferences are often shaped by a myriad of factors, one of them being personal experiences. Let's delve into the heart of the matter as we share snippets from interviews with Indian women discussing their personal experiences with African boys. One woman recounts her experience studying at a global university where she met a diverse group of people. She fondly remembers her African friend who taught her the importance of embracing different cultures. His kindness, respect, and openness to share his culture left a positive impact on her, making her appreciate the diversity and richness of African cultures. Then there's the story of a woman who had a different experience. She met an African boy during a work project. Despite cultural differences and language barriers, they found common ground in their shared values and work ethics. This experience made her realize that character transcends race, and it's the person underneath that truly counts. We also hear from a woman who had a neutral experience. She encountered an African boy in her neighborhood. They didn't have much interaction, but the experience didn't deter her from being open to future relationships with people from different races. She believes that people are individuals, and one person's actions don't represent an entire race. On the flip side, there are also women who've had negative experiences. One woman shares how a misunderstanding, fueled by cultural differences, led to a fallout with an African boy. This experience, though negative, became a learning curve for her. She now emphasizes the importance of communication and understanding in bridging cultural gaps. These stories show us that personal experiences with African boys vary among Indian women. They range from positive to negative, with many falling in between. These experiences, whether they're profound, mundane, or somewhere in between, play a significant role in shaping their perspectives and preferences. Closing. These experiences play a significant role in shaping preferences. The women's stories serve as a reminder that our experiences are just that, ours. They shape our perspectives and preferences, but they don't define us. We continuously learn, grow, and evolve just like our preferences. Culture, a silent influencer, often shapes our preferences. This statement rings true when it comes to the subject of attraction. As we delve deeper, it's important to understand that the cultural background of Indian women plays a significant role in shaping their perception of attraction towards African boys. From the numerous interviews conducted, a recurring theme emerged: the influence of cultural values. For instance, in Indian culture, family and societal approval are paramount. This places an inherent emphasis on compatibility, not just between individuals, but also between their backgrounds. This societal norm subtly, yet profoundly, influences who Indian women find attractive. A young woman from Delhi shared, "In our culture, compatibility is highly valued, and it extends beyond just the couple. It's about two families coming together. So when we think about attraction, we also consider how the person would fit into our family and societal circles." Next, let's discuss the media's role. It's no secret that media portrayal influences, and attraction is no exception. In Indian media, there's a lack of diverse representation, and this has a significant impact on shaping preferences. An interviewee from Mumbai reflected, "Growing up, I didn't see many African characters in the films or shows I watched. This lack of representation made it hard for me to form any kind of attraction, because there weren't many instances where I could see someone who looked different being portrayed in a romantic context." But it's also important to note the flip side. With the increasing influence of global media and the internet, exposure to diverse cultures and races is growing. This shift is slowly but surely influencing how Indian women perceive attractiveness, leading to an increase in openness towards different races, including African boys. The culture we grow up in leaves a lasting imprint on us, shaping our preferences in ways we may not even realize. As we've seen, cultural influences, be it societal norms or media portrayal, can significantly impact our perception of attractiveness. But with evolving times and increased exposure, these perceptions are slowly changing, leading to a broader, more inclusive definition of attraction. After hearing all these viewpoints, can we draw a definitive conclusion? Well, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've gathered so far. We delved into the perspectives of Indian women and their views on attraction and race, and it's clear that this is a multifaceted issue. The women we heard from had varied opinions, some of them expressing a particular attraction towards African boys, while others expressed a neutral stance, saying that race doesn't play a defining role in their attraction. It's important to emphasize that these are individual viewpoints, and they do not represent the views of every Indian woman. We also explored the experiences of Indian women who have had relationships with African boys. Their stories were diverse and rich, ranging from whirlwind romances to deep, enduring connections. These narratives underscored the fact that cultural differences can sometimes pose challenges, but they can also be a source of fascination, learning, and growth. In our journey through this topic, we also touched on the cultural influences that shape our attractions. We discovered that media, societal norms, and personal experiences play significant roles in shaping one's preferences. Bollywood, for instance, with its portrayal of romantic ideals, can influence perceptions of attractiveness. But at the same time, personal experiences and interactions also hold significant sway in determining who one finds appealing. So having reviewed all these elements, can we arrive at a definitive conclusion? Can we definitively say whether Indian women like African boys or not? The answer is both simple and complex. It's not a straightforward yes or no. Attraction is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's a complex interplay of personal preferences, cultural influences, and individual experiences. It varies from person to person, and it's continually evolving. What someone finds attractive today might change tomorrow. Moreover, it's essential to remember that attraction is just one aspect of a relationship. Compatibility, mutual respect, and shared values often hold more weight in the long run. Also, we must remember that while it's interesting and sometimes necessary to discuss these topics, it's equally important to respect individual choices and preferences. Attraction is a deeply personal matter, and it's crucial to respect and understand that everyone's preferences are unique. In conclusion, while we can't definitively say whether all Indian women are attracted to African boys, we can affirm that love and attraction are universal emotions that transcend geographical boundaries and racial lines. They are shaped by a myriad of factors, including personal experiences, cultural influences, and individual preferences. So, whether you're an Indian woman, an African boy, or anyone else watching this video, remember this. Attraction is a personal concept, and it's as diverse as the people experiencing it. What matters most is respect and understanding for each other's preferences and experiences.